Ready, hot!
You're watching OU Football with Jason Kersey. I'm Mike Sherman, here to talk with Jason about a Sooner whose dreams have come true. Talk to us about what's going on now for Bronson Irwin.
Well, Bronson Irwin is a guy who has gotten some playing time in his first 2 years on campus, but because of some injuries, he's going to have an opportunity to start now. And it's kind of interesting because he's from Mustang, and so is another former Sooner lineman, Bubba Burcham, from the 2000 National Championship team. And it kind of caught on to an interesting story with a little help from social media.
Well, you knew about this too, Jason. Of course, the power of the 2000 team can't be underestimated in sort of in the psyche of the Sooner Nation, especially for a young guy who was, a second grader,
Third grader.
a third grader when that magical season, the Red October, all that happened. Pick it up from there.
Yeah, Bronson Irwin was in a third grade class in Mustang, and his teacher was Bubba Burcham's older sister. And so after the season ended, Bubba came to speak to the class, and they took a picture together as a group. But in the picture, Bronson is right behind Bubba Burcham. And after that, they kind of became buddies, and they stayed in touch. And Bubba helped Bronson throughout his high school career, would come back and give him some advice. And here 12 years later, he's now a starter on the offensive line. And Bubba is actually the one who kind of pointed me in the direction of this story on Twitter.
Okay, now Bronson Irwin's a starter. How's the offensive line shaping up?
I still think they feel pretty good about the five starters. Bronson Irwin's a guy who, like I said, has some experience. He's somebody who has the confidence of the coaches. But I think the bigger concern is the depth now, especially on the interior part of the line. They came into this season feeling really good about the interior of their line, and then all of a sudden they lose, like you said, Ben Haber and Tyler Evans, and then they have a freshman leave the team. They lose Dylan Dismuke, who's a tackle, but still it's just another offensive lineman with some promise, with a promising future that they lose. So I think all of a sudden there's concern about the depth on the offensive line. I'm not so sure another interior lineman injury would be sustainable.
We know how that third grader at Mustang grew up. Tell us what's happened to Bubba Burcham. High school fans know this.
Yeah, Bubba Burcham is he has kind of worked his way through up the coaching ranks, and now he's the head football coach at Coweta High School, and he's been there for 2 or 3 years now, I think, as the head coach. And so he was also an assistant at Tulsa Union for a while before that.
Thanks, Jason. That's all for this edition of OU Football with Jason Kersey, but you can stay with the best coverage team every day at News OK and every morning in the Oklahoma.